All right, am I connected? All right, let's get this started. I got a new foundation that I'm going to be showing today. I've already tried it out, and it is the Dior Forever Hydra Nude. And I have it in the color 15N. I think it said it was a medium coverage. I kind of like a light coverage. So I'm going to be mixing that with my favorite mixer today. So we're going to get started here. I've already done the moisturizer, and I have put on my, my City Lips line therapy, to do around my lips. I'm going to go ahead and do some lip plumping gloss by City Lips. I'm loving that. So, and I'm making sure that I kind of go outside my lip line a little bit. This one is just about done. I have lots of colors, but I always start out with the clear. All right. So there's that. So while that is going to work, I'm going to first really quick, here's another thing as I'm dropping things here. I'm going to get my City Beauty Lid Lifting Treatment. And I'm just going to put a little bit, can you see that? On my eyelid. Take it down, and then I'm going to bring it up. And then just kind of pat that in. Now, I'm going to go over to the other side and do the same amount. And get this going. Let this be doing its thing. All right. With that said, I already have my eyebrows done. I did them before. So, all right, we're going to, before we start talking about that, I'm going to go ahead and get my foundation going here so I can show you what I'm doing. I'm taking my Dior foundation. I've got my hair pulled back. Isn't it pretty? And I'm just going to, I don't think it's a glass bottle. It's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, Dior foundations are always nice. I'm going to take 1 pump. And then I'm going to take 1 pump of my Dermatology Universal Tinted Moisturizer with an SPF of 46. And I'm going to put that right on top of it. And there is a large amount of product there. I'm going to be using my BK Beauty 115. This is the little, the one between the kitten paw for the foundation, the big one, and the little one. This is the mama bear. You got daddy bear, baby bear, and a mama bear. So I'm just mixing the two together. I still need to get me one of those little glass palettes. Need to put that on my Amazon list. All right, I got plenty on here. Get it off my finger before I make a mess. And I'm going to start doing this. Just going to start seeing how it looks. Now, what I wanted to talk about was when I went in November to my cardiologist, which I go every 6 months. he knew that I was having issues still with my hip and the pain because of the inflammation, the tendonitis, whatever they call it that day. It has just, I'm still, and yeah, yes, I am still in physical therapy every week. But my last visit with him, he said that it was just by doing the physical exam, he could just tell where I was hurting, that the inflammation was just bad and there was just too much. And we need to see if we can get it calmed down. So I told him I was going to be meeting with my cardiologist and such. And so what we have done, fast forward, went to the cardiologist, and he said he would like for me to consider going on a medication that's called a GLP-1. And I just stared at him because I did not know what he was talking about. And he said these GLP-1s, he said typically they have been highly proclaimed in the weight loss industry. He said they were made for diabetics. But as in some medications do, after they're out a while, they figure out that they have extra benefits or benefits for other conditions. And that I completely understand. And I immediately thought of like one of my RA medicines, which is Plaquenil. Plaquenil has been around for a long, long time, and it was created for malaria. It is an anti-malaria drug, but yet it helps with RA patients. So once they find out that these drugs, that there's other good side effects, that they have other outcomes, they start doing research and they start doing trials to see people with certain conditions how it will work on that medicine. So he said I would need to talk to my primary care doctor. He was going to send her a letter with all the information. He said what the research that he has seen is that the medicine that's in these GLP-1s, which it's a, if I understand it right, it is a protein that mimics one of our proteins that's naturally derived in our body. It, like I said, it was created for diabetes, but they have found that it helped people with weight loss. But now they're finding out that it is helping with other issues. And one of them that he was very, very excited for was the help with cardiac disease. And he said, if I can get you to where you have even a 20% better chance of having a cardiac event, he said, I would be very, very happy. So he said, I really wish you would consider it. He said, I'm going to send the information to your primary care and then we'll go from there. So he said, but also, he said they're also finding out that it helps with inflammation. He said, this could be a double whammy for you. So, which, if you know anything about RA, I was diagnosed in 2000 with RA. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, you have a 50% chance of somebody who doesn't to have cardiac disease because of what the RA does. So, mine is just kind of, it is what it is. You know, there are worse things that I could have, so I'm just going to try and go with that. So, fast forward, I had an appointment the next week after that with my primary care doctor. And she got the information from the doctor, and she said, okay. She said, there is only one of them that is approved on my insurance, which is Medicare on Humana. And I have got to get a napkin, or no, here it is, I'm sorry. I thought I had one somewhere. I've got to get this off my hand because it's just going to go crazy. I don't want this all over my clothes. So she got it, she had to get it approved. But he told me, I mean, let's go back to the cardiologist. He said, Barbara, this isn't for weight loss for you. This is, I want to see if it will help you with your cardiac, outcomes, as well as help you with some inflammation problems that you are suffering with, which the inflammation goes hand in hand with cardiac disease. So the doctor prescribed it because as of last March, Wegovy, which is the only one that is specifically like this, or specifically FDA approved for cardiac events, and she said that, yes, she said, I was not obese. I was not diabetic. She ran the test and she said, I'm not. She said, so let's see what we can get done. So she was able to get it approved, and I got it through my insurance. And I started taking it in January 5th is when I took my first shot. So that's what's been going on with that. So she did give me a piece of paper when I was at her office, and she said, I've got some important things I need to tell you about this drug. She said, you need to focus on fiber, protein, and water. And it is life-changing. And she said, whatever you do not get stopped up. She goes, learn from me. Yes, she said, you do not want to end up at the emergency room. Learn from me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, if a doctor did this, okay. So, now she also, because at her doctor's office, apparently they have a little side area inside their medical clinic that they do weight loss medication and not medical procedures, but they treat patients for weight loss. And she said they have compounds, and I didn't even know what a compound was. And I'm like, if you know about GLP, and if you're watching all the stuff, there is so much drama going on in this area of medicine right now. So she told me on that piece of paper, she said, you've got to get this. And she said, you've got to take this every single day. She said, you've got to take fiber gummies every single day. And you're going to get really tired. She said, take some B12. And she said, and have own hand if you get nausea as well. And if you get constipated, do not get to the point to where you're constipated, or let it go past a certain, when the moment you notice it, do something about it. So Miralax is also a good friend. So I started that, and it has been different. It has been really, really different and used to it, or getting used to it. And water. I drink water constantly. So while I'm talking, I was letting this foundation dry too. I kind of like to let it dry before I see what's going on. And I've got my little hand hub. And I'm trying to get up here to where you can actually see. Can you see this foundation? I really like it with the the tinted moisturizer mix in, it takes it just a lighter touch to it, to where you can really see my skin through it. And I'm trying to get up there so you can see it. I'm in front of a window, but then I've also got a little bit of the ring light on so you can actually see. So I think this makes my skin look very good. Y'all tell me, what do you think? Do you think I need any concealer under my eyes? I'll put a little bit of brightening, and this is a color corrector. This, of course, is the Dermatology. And I'm going to do, where is it? Oh, the BK Beauty A506. I'm just going to do a little bit on here. Just a little bit on here. Take it in here. And just a little bit. And kind of lighten that up a little bit. So I started watching whenever my doctor talked to me about this, my cardiologist. Of course, I have to read everything. I have to find out everything that I possibly can. So I got online, of course, on YouTube, and I started not Googling, but I started searching and finding out and watching other people and see. And I mean, my goodness, there is a ton of, there's hundreds, maybe even thousands of people that are on this GLP-1 medication. There's different ones. Like I said, there's Novo Nordisk is the one who makes Wegovy. And they also make Ozempic. Now, because of a couple of years ago, when the popularity increased because of so many people using it off-label. Off-label means that because they're using it for what it's not FDA approved for. And then, of course, insurance, a lot of insurance companies don't cover weight loss. Medicare does not cover medications for weight loss. But my doctor got it approved because of the cardiac benefits that have been FDA approved for. Now, I think it's like I'm not sure. I'm not going to go anymore. I am not a medical doctor. I'm not a medical professional. So what I'm doing, I'm using my Bi-Terry powder, and I'm also just lightly tapping it on my lashes to help when I get ready to put some mascara on. I just keep dropping stuff here. So there are lots of people out there talking about this and the drama, because the FDA has now said that there's not a shortage. Well, all these compounders, pharmacies that were able to make compounds of this drug. So basically, they're making it for a fraction of what they're selling it for. They don't want to go out of business. So they're suing the FDA saying, oh, there's not a shortage. So I'm not getting into that because I don't know the legalities of it. So, but that is going on, and the drama is real. So, one second. All right, I had to pick up what had fallen. I'm going to try and push some of this stuff out of the way. All right, so what have I got? Oh, I'm going to use, I love this. I have two colors. This is Quince, and this is bronzer by Merit. And I love it because it's such a gentle type bronzer, and when you're fair, it's just like you can't overdo it. So I'm just going to kind of do this on here. And I'm going to use the BK Beauty. This is the A, no A, 109. And I just like to kind of just push it in. So, in watching some of these videos by people, I have found some that are very helpful. So if you have, or if you're researching this, there are some that have a lot of information. One of them is a channel called Downsized. It is a couple that started their GLP-1 medicine together. And they've lost like 150 pounds. I think he's lost 98, she's lost 50 something. So Lorraine, and is her name, but they have a really nice channel. They stay on top of all the news. I will actually link their channel down below. But they interview people, they've interviewed doctors, they just stay and they alert people on all the news, especially with all of this drama going on right now. So, so there's one that I have actually learned a lot from about this. Now here's the thing is, I have not been able to find anybody else on YouTube that is talking about it that is not taking this medication other than obesity or diabetes. None of them in my situation so far that I have found. So that's why I kind of wanted to highlight this to see if anybody else, if they find me in the search because of this, if they have, and how they're doing. I don't know. I go back to see my cardiologist in May. I don't know if he'll do my normal test and if he can see then, what's, I don't know how long it takes or whatever, So, but that's why I wanted to do this or to bring it to light to talk about this, because my situation is different. So, I'm going to stop here. The bronzer, this is something that I got, I think it was maybe in December, if I'm not mistaken. I love Merit products. Well, I don't think this is available anymore. But anytime they do one of their specials, I love to take advantage of it because I do love their products. And they did not send this to me. I purchased this myself. And this is the blush set of 4 new colors that they came out with. So, I'm going to pick this one right here, which is just a very light one, and it's called Lusitano, 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 maybe that's it. But it's a beautiful little pinky peach. And I'm going to use a brush that I was just working with on my bronzer. And I'm going to put a little bit on here. And just, these blushes just blend just lovely. So we're going to do this real quick. So anyway, when I was looking, I was trying to find. I started doing the GLP-1 semaglutide and trying in Wegovy, trying to research anything that people were talking about cardiovascular disease, and there were a lot of doctors, and there were some doctors, different ones, and they were talking about, or the majority of them, were talking about the benefits, the cardiac benefits, when a person who is obese and has lost weight and has had cardiac benefits. That's not my situation, because I wasn't in the obese category, and I'm not in the diabetic category either. So that's what I was trying to pinpoint, and I couldn't. Now, I did find one doctor, and I'm going to put a clip up right here because he did a short, and I reached out to him and asked him if I could put this in a video, and he said yes. So, and I will put a link to his channel down below as well. So I'm going to play that right here.
A new analysis shows that the decrease in heart attacks from Wegovy probably doesn't depend on the weight loss. In this poster presentation, they looked at those who lost less than 5% of their weight and those who lost over 5% of their weight at week 20 compared to placebo, and then saw if there was a benefit in terms of cardiovascular risk. And they showed that those who lost less and more than 5% of their weight both had an improvement in their major adverse cardiovascular events compared to placebo. They also looked at baseline amount of fat that they had or adiposity and found that didn't make a difference either. So it's pretty cool these drugs work regardless if you lose weight and regardless of how much fat you have.
All right, so I just wanted to share that tidbit with you, but I also want to share this as well. I've heard so many people say, oh, well, because of this drug or these drugs that they've lost, by losing weight, they've been able to get their blood pressure down, so they've been able to come off their medicine or lower it. And I just had to say, because I just want to say, take heed. Take heed. Because I had years ago, I had been on Weight Watchers, and I lost quite a bit of weight. And I was at my lowest, which was 118 pounds. And I took it upon myself to get off my blood pressure medicine because I had lost weight and I thought I didn't need it anymore. And I talked to my doctor about it, and she said, "Oh, okay, but but make sure you take your blood pressure every day, and everything." Well, then it worked, until it didn't. So yes, I was 118 pounds, and I ended up in the emergency room with my blood pressure. I did a whole video on that years ago and everything, but it was just like, yeah, at 233. Over like 117 or 18, I think it was, and a horrible headache. They said, you've got to get back to your doctor and get back on medicine. And they did a CT scan, and come to find out, they said the CT scan was okay at the hospital, but when I took that to my doctor and we reviewed it together and I brought up some points to her, then that's when we started doing other tests and send me to the cardiologist, because I have intracranial arterial sclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries, which is one of the things that rheumatoid arthritis can do because of the inflammation that it causes. So I just wanted to say that if you are taking yourself off these drugs just because you've lost weight and you think it's come down, please keep a double check on it. Make sure you check your blood pressure at home every day, because it can come back and bite you. So with that said, I went ahead while he was talking. I decided to go ahead and foof up my hair and do my eye makeup. And very simple, I just did 2 shadows in this. This is the old Natasha Denona. I did let me open it up. I just did the light and then a little of the darker reddish brown almost in the crease and under the eyes. I did a little brown eyeliner from Promedics, and then I just did a couple of coats of the Paradise Big Deal mascara. So yeah, and then I fluffed up my hair, and that's a product I wanted to show you because I got my hair cut the other day. So I'm really loving the short. Now, because I have very, very fine hair and, you know, trying to get some texture in it and stuff, I do like the Callista texturizing spray, but I also found this. There's a guy that I like to watch on there. I'll link his channel. I think he's a hairstylist, and he's Justin Hickox or something like that. I'll link his channel down below. But he recommends, let me grab this real quick. That was very graceful, wasn't it? He recommends this product, and it is by Bumble and Bumble, which I've used. I've known about Bumble and Bumble for a long, long time. And but he said it's called the Sumo Clay, and he said you want a matte product, otherwise it's going to make it look greasy and everything. And he is so right. This stuff is amazing. Yeah. It smells like a guy's product, which a lot of guys in the pictures and stuff use it, but I tell you what, I love this stuff on my short hair. Yeah, it just really, what do y'all think? I had her do more blonde the other day because we have a revelation. I had to tell her, I said, look what has happened. I have my first, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I have my first white hair. At 66 and a half years old, my first white hair. So I told her, she said, you want me to pull it out? And I said, no. I said, we're just going to blend in. We're just going to blend it in. So it's springtime, warmer weather, just put some more blonde in it, and then the dark brown, or not the dark brown, but the brownish highlights or low lights in there. So that is it. So I have one more thing. This was not my birthday, this was my Valentine's present day to myself. So I wanted to open it with you. It's been sitting here. I've been chomping at the bit to open it up. So we're going to do that here. Let's see, do an unboxing here. If I can, my hands will work. Wow. Good old cardboard. It doesn't want to come loose. Oh man, what is wrong with this? Okay, there it came. All right. So we're going to open it up so you can see. It's from Grulon. Oh wow. The package is in here, but I thought I was going to be able to lift it out, but apparently not. I'm going to have to do it like this. And against my close, just, oh wow. It's probably very loud on my thing. Okay, there it is in here. Put this in my lap. Here. Wow, this was all sticky in there. Wow, it wasn't going anywhere, okay? So, we'll do that. Okay, where'd it go? All right, paper. And you always get to pick out, like with any of the luxury stuff, you get to pick out some samples too. So I picked out a couple of samples, and this one is the, oh my goodness, this is the Vanilla Busca Vanilla. And then the Patchouli Paris. And it is another fragrance sample. Here we go. Let's try this one. Oh my goodness. That is decadent. I'll have to wait and smell this one. I'm going to focus on this one right now. But they come in a beautiful little Guerlain bag. I don't know if you can see that or not. But, oh, and a card. I forgot I did this. From Guerlain. I don't know if you're going to be able to read it or not, but it says, to myself, because I'm worth it. I love it. Do you ever do anything like that for yourself? You should. You really should, because you are worth it. Oh my God, that fragrance. One squirt is it. Don't overdo on that. So, here we have it. All right. It's a lipstick shade. I've already done a nude lip liner on my lips. So here it is. And this is the Rouge G. And this is in satin number 28. And I cannot pronounce it, so I'm just going to put it up there for you, see if you can focus, if it lets it. But you know, I'm a sucker for orange red. Oh, but it doesn't look as orange red as I was expecting. Well, I don't know, it matches my nails pretty well. But this isn't all. Because, let me put the lid back on this before I mess it up. This, because you when you order it off the website, you pick the case, which I have several of the cases, and then you pick your lipstick. And if you're ordering off of Guerlain's website, you can do this off of Bloomingdale's and other high-end sites as well too, but I don't know that they offer the personalization. So here, look at that. It's animal print. And it's got the little clear plastic thing. Oh, and I need to take that off because it pops up. And I had it personalized with Barbara Jean on there. Can you see that? So, for the full effect, let's put it together. So here it is. What do you think? Is this just not bougie? Open it up and it's got a double mirror. And let's try it out. I love a soft makeup look, nude eye, and a red lip. What do you think, friends? All right, I'm in love with this. And the lipstick is so creamy and moisture. Is that a good thumbnail? All right, that's my little special present to myself. Ladies, I hope you do that to yourself. And of course, it comes with a little pouch to put in your handbag as well too. But yeah, I had to have that. So, all right, ladies, I wanted to tell you about everything that's going on with that. And also, one of the other things I was able to do, I was able to get my rheumatologist to put me back on my Enbrel, which was the medication that I was on before I started on Medicare, because I was told Medicare wouldn't pay for the Enbrel because it's like $8,500 a month. they were able to get it approved. And with the changes that were made starting this January 1, all Medicare approved drugs, if they're approved by Medicare, it's only $2,000 a year. So that was a huge savings to me. But then my Wegovy falls in under that $2,000 as well. Not $2,000 for each drug, $2,000 out of pocket. So Wegovy is about 900 and something. So this is almost $10,000 worth of medication, just that. That's not counting all my blood pressure, cardiac medicines, and other rheumatology medicines as well too. So we're hoping that maybe my inflammation will get under control and that my hip will settle down and I'll be able to do more. This past cold that we had so much bad cold, and it was just wrong for Texas. And the cold hurt. It hurt any time I walked outside. It felt like something came up and just waylaid me with a hammer. And it took me, once I came back in from like walking the dogs for 15, 20 minutes, it took me sitting on the heating pad and Tylenol for about an hour to two just to stop the pain. Because I won't do the pain medication. I'm not going to start that. I've always been afraid of doing that. I just don't want to go down that path of taking the prescription pain meds for the RA. And I don't want to live on steroids because those are bad for you as well too. And I think that was one of the mistakes that they did in the beginning with my hip, was giving me steroid injections because it deteriorates the tendons. So, yeah. So, all right. This is my final look with the Dior foundation mixed with my Dermatology tinted moisturizer. So it is toned down. It is a very, very sheer coverage. So I love it. So what do you think? Do you have any questions for me about the GLP-1? I'm specifically on the Wegovy. And, a lot of people say, oh, well, it's injections. Well, I've been taking injections every week since 2000, because of the RA. So the injections don't bother me. So, but if you have any questions, you want to know anything, please leave them down below. And if there's enough of them, maybe I can do another video for you to answer your questions. So I know this is long. Thanks for hanging in with me. And thanks to so many of you who've been checking in on me. I'm hoping with the warmer weather, I can tell that yesterday and today I've had more energy. With the warmer weather, I'm able to get out and walk without hurting as much. So there's just been a whole lot going on, and I've got some a couple of hauls of some fashion coming up for you. I miss doing my fashion, I really do, and I'm hoping to get back that real soon. So thank you so much to everybody and to all of you. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you're coming over because you searched me because of the GLP-1s, I am a 66-year-old fashionista. I am a personal stylist. I'm trained. That means that I actually took classes and took the education to become a stylist. It's not just I'm throwing it out there because this is my idea of what I think fashion is. I try and stick to my aesthetic, which is a classic minimalist look. In this part of my life, yes, and I'm also I've got a certification for makeup artist. So yeah, so this is me, and we've recently, the last couple of years, we downsized. So we have taken a slower down life into an apartment life situation. We don't have the house and all the maintenance and everything to take care of. It's something wrong, ring ring, come fix it. So that is what my life is about. So come along if you'd like to join our little family here on YouTube. And I'm going to get out of here because I just keep talking too much. So I got to go walk the dogs too. So, all right, friends, remember, what I tell you every day to get up and show up, because you are worth it. Okay? You're worth it. Just like I am worth it, because it's in writing. I'll see you on my next video.